In 2026, the Geometer Sketchpad desktop software was rebuilt for modern operating systems so that it runs smoothly on Mac OS Tahoe and Windows 11. To download Sketchpad for either Mac or Windows, use this link. This video provides an overview of the new features included in the 2026 public field test editions of Sketchpad. If you're new to Sketchpad, we recommend starting with the Sketchpad Learning Center and Sketchpad Reference Center available through the Sketchpad Help menu. Let's begin our overview of new features with the ability to export a sketch in Web Sketchpad format for online investigations. Start with your sketch, choose File, Export Web Sketch, and then save it as an HTML page. And that's it. You now have a web page that duplicates the functionality of your sketch without the need for the desktop software. Simply upload the HTML to the web and you're ready to go. There are no other supporting files necessary. Keep in mind, however, that you can only use web sketches for non-commercial content. Let's continue with a feature called drag merging. Here are a circle and a triangle. I'd like a way to easily restrict the movement of vertex A to the circumference of the circle. When I drag point A and hover over the circumference highlights, and when I let go, the point is now constrained to the circumference. To continue, I'll drag vertex B onto point E, hover, and then let go. Points B and E have now merged into a single point. I'll do the same with the remaining vertex of the triangle, attaching it to the center of the circle. What began as an arbitrary triangle is now an isosceles triangle. Let's move on to the last new feature. Here is a sketch with a presentation button that sequences two actions. When I press the button, it shows the radius of the circle, and then it animates the endpoint of the radius. I'd like to embellish my presentation so that it does a few more things. When I press Show Radius, I'd like to show not only the radius, but its measurement as well. And after the radius spins around the circle, I'd like to change the size of the circle so that students can see how this affects the radius measurement. Until now, the only way to accomplish these actions in my sketch would be to delete the existing buttons and rebuild them. But now I can surgically alter the buttons without starting over. Here's how. On the next page of my sketch, I've measured the radius, and I've made a button that animates the circle. Let's incorporate these into my existing buttons. I'll focus first on the Show Radius button. Currently, it shows the radius of the circle. I'd like it to show the measurement of the radius as well. I'll select the radius, and I'll select its measurement. I'll then select the Show Radius button, go to Edit, and choose Redefine Action button. Now, after hiding the radius and its measurement, I'll press Show Radius. Notice that unlike before, the Show button displays both the radius and its measurement. To continue, let's update the Sequence button. It currently controls these two buttons, but I want to add this final action, animating the circle, to the sequence so that this button displays the radius and its measurement, animates the radius, and finally changes the size of the circle. To do so, I'll select in order, Show Radius, Animate Point, and Animate Circle. I'll then select Sequence 2 Actions and choose Redefine Action button. Notice that this button's name has changed to Sequence 3 Actions. When I press the button, it displays the radius and its measurement. It animates the radius and animates the circle. I was able to make all these changes to the sketch without deleting any action buttons. This may not seem like a big deal in this simple sketch, but for more complicated sketches with buttons nested deeply in other buttons, the ability to redefine any action button can save you lots of wasted time needing to rebuild complex dependencies. This concludes our tour of the new features available in the public field test editions of Mac and Windows Sketchpad.